favorites. Have you heard the 80s version?
No.
Welcome everybody to the Barry Beat podcast, streamed live from the Inside Scoop Studios, Main Street, Barry, Vermont, to YouTube, Facebook.
Yeah, we do it.
802 Scoop, Barry Beat.
Yeah, and we are on Instagram.
Oh, you're on Instagram?
We are on Instagram. And we have Four Quarters with Lori Shepard. We have It's No Secret. We have all kinds of great things that happen under this roof.
Absolutely. You've got myself, Michael Booten, and of course we have the ever lovely Raylene.
Good evening.
And we've got Liam.
Good evening.
Liam Hogan from Hogan Group LLC. Good evening, everyone. Everyone doing well?
Yep.
Doing well?
Yep.
All right, so just Barry Beat tonight. We'll be talking about some local news, City Council Select Board. Well, no City Council. Well, we might dab. I'm looking over at you, Raylene.
We gotta dabble a little bit.
We might dab into some City Council stuff. Yeah. Stuff that's older.
Yeah, not that old. Only a week.
Maybe dabble into school board, Vermont news, politics, and national and
I mean, it's only
beyond.
a week old.
Huh?
The City Council is only a week old, and
that's true.
So.
And we'll also, towards the end, we'll have a little conversation about Charlie Kirk.
Yes, we will.
All right, and meaning to the Great Divide. That's your teaser, huh?
No. My teaser is my take on coffee.
Oh, whoops.
Yep. Coffee.
Stay tuned for
Liam's rant on coffee.
That Raylene drinks 2 gallons of a day.
Yeah. And listen, I drink a lot of coffee as well, and I'm a coffee snob. Like
then you'll like this rant. Yep.
I only like certain coffee.
Me too.
So, should probably give the weather update. So, today obviously was sunny. It was beautiful. It was in like 80s, I heard. Mm-hmm. I was inside, unfortunately. Tomorrow we've got partly cloudy, 79, 46, 79 degrees high, 46 low, which lovely. Thursday, partly cloudy, 79, 50 degrees low. Friday, mostly sunny, 66 degrees of a high and 45 low. Saturday, love the weekends. It's going to be sunny, 61 degrees high and 37 low. And Sunday is going to be partly cloudy, 70s in the highs, and then 36 in the low.
And then
like
there's
favorite.
A negative, though. There's a horrible negative about this. It's going to be beautiful. It's a beautiful fall.
It is.
But we have people in Vermont that are literally running out of water. Wells and springs that have run dry.
Correct.
People without water. This has been detrimental to farmers that are having to buy feed during the summer because their cows can't graze.
Yep.
They usually don't only buy feed for the winter. And so the financial strains that are going to be put on people is huge because of this.
Yeah, no, you're 100% accurate on that, and I know that it's pretty tough, right?
Yeah. It's been a great reprieve because we've gone through a lot of hell the last couple of years in some respects, but this is just another level of horribleness.
Correct. And, as we talk about the drought, the state of Vermont is asking people to report impacts of the drought, and I'll drop that link right down in the chat, and it's anr.vermont.gov/disaster/drought. And I know that I posted that on my campaign page, and Judy Copping posted a picture of the Berlin Street Bridge where the
everybody
river.
dared to chime in today and say what I said I was going to say last night, but you were like, don't say that.
Well, I wanted to say it, but I did not say it. So I am a coward.
You could get on there. You could get right down in there right now with an excavator and push dirt for miles.
Yes.
Like literally.
Yes.
Get it out of there, and the junk that's in there.
But not the D word. Let's not talk about the D word.
No. Excavator, E word.
Excavator.
E word.
Sediment relocation.
You could push
Sediment.
the dirt.
Sediment relocation.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm a big
me
fan
too.
of.
I mean, but what a perfect time. Now, I
Yeah.
wasn't sure, and maybe this is off topic, and that's going to be your trouble for having me in here because this is what will happen.
I mean,
to you.
I do need to say that this drought we
Mm-hmm.
haven't had. I'm pretty sure since the 1800s.
Right? Yeah, they read that. But do you think any of the dam work upstream has anything to do with how dry it is on Berlin Street right now? Like, have they slowed water upstream so that they can remove the dam? Because that's happening right now.
I think so.
The dam removal's happening. So, like, they can slow water, they can control water. And we have the bigger dam in East Barre. We have dams up above. And so I was just curious if that has anything to do with it, or if it is seriously 100% just the drought, that it's that low and that dry.
I don't think so. I mean, I might be wrong, and I think they haven't started pulling
And
it
me
out.
either.
have they?
Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's
Wasn't it started
according-
like today?
I thought, yeah, according to the newspaper today, but they may have slowed the water ahead
Oh,
of time
I see
to
what
be
you're
able
saying.
to do the work up above
Maybe.
us. So I was just curious. I mean, I don't know if that's the case, but it's a thought that crossed my mind today.
Yeah, my guess it's probably
Probably
not,
not.
just because, I mean, we're 60% of Vermont, one article that I was looking at is in drought. You get city water, right, Liam?
Yes.
So
Yep.
we don't. Has either one of you been up to the reservoir?
I have not.
I've got to go up there because I am
I keep
curious
saying
what
I'm
it
going
looks
to,
like.
but I haven't done it yet.
Should
There's
go
your
up there.
next bike ride.
You know what? I could do that. I
Although
could take
that's
the
a that's
trike
a
up.
long way.
No longer than Williamstown.
No, but it's a lot more uphill than
Right.
Williamstown.
And for
there's-
folks that don't know, I drive up to Williamstown to get a creamy from Legendary, a sponsor of the 802 Scoop
Who
program.
was voted the Times Argus best of the best.
Oh, who else? Wait a minute.
There you go.
Who else was voted best of the best?
Well, we were. So I was for my.
That was a softball.
I was for local advertising agent, and then 802 Scoop came in second. Or no, 802
Yeah,
Scoop
no.
was best of the best for advertising, and then I came in as runner-up for local disc jockey or radio talent. And it's
I
because
thought it was news you could use that
the
802
news you could use is 802 Scoop. News
Yeah.
you could use was the category, but
Oh,
it's best
okay.
advertising.
Got it.
Right.
It.
And so the news you could use is both of those things were under that category. And we won the advertising, and I came in as runner-up for the DJ, which I said earlier on a show that I did with Jeff, that meant a lot to me. It's a big deal to be runner-up, considering who I was up against.
Right.
That have been doing this for 30, 35 years, certainly far longer than I have. So I was really honored by that and humbled by that. And I think everyone who, shouted out and voted for us, it's just awesome. And our first year in, that's a pretty big deal.
Very
So
much
thank
so.
you very much
Congratulations.
to everyone. I very much appreciate it. Yeah.
All
And a
right.
lot of our sponsors are best of the best.
That's true.
Yipes, Posh, Quick Lube, Roothier, Legendary. So the list goes on, and it's awesome.
It is.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Best of the best all the way around.
that's right.
Yep. All right. Since we're around there, let's talk about the select board, huh?
For sure. This was from their September 2nd meeting. And if you didn't know, you do now. Your sewer bill was due yesterday. There's a bulk trash scheduled for September 20th. I didn't see a time in the minutes, but I'm sure that'll...
I have to put that in my calendar because
I'm sure.
that's for the town.
That's for the town. Like I said, no
We're going
time.
to get that bulk trash time very shortly, folks.
Yeah.
They expanded lawn waste hours. And they bought a new ambulance, like we were talking about a couple weeks ago now.
Oh,
They
nice.
bought one from Northeastern Rescue Vehicles for $167,000.
Nice.
And you have some experience in that realm, don't you? Because you're.
That's,
Wait a minute, aren't you going back to school?
No, I put that on hold. Work gets too busy, so I'm going to wait. And this class was also in Newport. That's quite a drive.
Yes, for sure.
So I put that on hold. I'm going to wait for one that comes closer.
That was bulk trash collection, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Not seeing a time.
No, I
Not seeing.
found that in the September 2nd minutes, but I didn't see a time either.
August editions of the town newsletter. Oh, full
Right.
details. This is like confusing. Why can't it just be on the page that's talking about it? I mean, I'm just saying.
Right? Make it easy.
Just saying.
Well,
And I don't know where the newsletter
we
is.
can skip it, and
Yep.
I will make sure that it gets posted on
I
802
appreciate that.
Scoop at some point before morning.
Thank
How's
you
that?
very much. I appreciate that because
You're
I
welcome.
just can't find that myself, which is kind of embarrassing. Oh well. Anyway, great. JJ Newberry's update. Probably let folks know. So you're first on 802 Scoop that it was. The new amount is $800,000. They need $25,000 more. That's all they need to purchase that building from the Jacobs and Lewensteins, and then finally be done. And then we'll be able to get a really nice building up there. Hopefully, I'm gonna drop the link for folks to click. If you want to donate, don't click now because, you're watching.
Right, you want to pay attention
Right.
to the rest of the show, so you know what's going on around here.
Exactly. Want to talk about Dustin Heron. He got a DUI, 9 years in prison, facing up to 9 years in prison. My guess is probably won't get that. Second offense, because he refused to do a sobriety test, which, just for the record, folks, you might as well do it because you're going to get the same consequences. Am I correct?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Don't drink.
And sometimes worse because refusal can be another charge. So
Right. Which,
you just make your life more miserable.
right.
And
who knows,
then
you
your
might.
insurance company has bigger questions. They don't have clear information. The state's attorney doesn't have clear information. It does not make your life better. You're just better off just doing it.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, we could
Own
talk.
your shit. That's what it's called.
I don't.
Just own it.
I usually flush it.
Yeah,
You
but people
heard
need
it
to
here.
start. People need to start owning it, and
Yes.
dealing
would
with
agree
their
with that.
consequences. And
That could be a good bumper
So city-
sticker.
Huh?
That could be a good bumper sticker.
yeah,
Own your shit?
own your shit.
I don't. I flush it. Again, I flush it. Because I live in the city and it goes down and goes away and I don't ever see it. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm just saying.
Good Lord. We'll skip that now.
Yeah.
We're good.
We're good? We're good?
Yes, we're good. We're
Moving
not letting
on.
you get stuck.
Talking about city council, we had the CDBGDR grants, looking for $10 million for new construction and home elevations. That's amazing.
I do. I think so.
I think
It's awesome.
we need to be able to help out folks down
That
in
want to stay here.
correct.
And there are people that really want to be bought out, but there are a lot of people that want to be to remain in their homes. So to
Yeah.
help with that would be just incredible.
No,
Yeah.
I completely agree. Then 5.3 million to advance Prospect Heights. They currently have 3.6, which gets back to like the Northern Borders
Right.
grant that was a couple years ago, and
That got
well, it
all
wasn't a
screwed
couple
up
years.
and then put back on track.
got
thank
all
God.
screwed up because someone. No, I won't say anything.
Right. Green hats are not a good thing.
Poor Liam.
They bring no
Poor Liam.
prosperity.
So
Green hats
Raylene
bring
and
no
I have been doing
prosperity.
this for what, 2 years now?
Yeah.
We've been doing this for 2 years. So poor Liam is getting stuck in
Like,
the.
what the hell are
What are
they
they talking about?
Um,
We've got a lot
yeah.
of. You'll
I'll
learn.
tell you later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll learn the the inside jokes and people that have been
Yeah.
watching for a long time will get the jokes as
Yeah.
well. Oh man,
Yeah.
yeah. You want to talk about the? Did you watch, Liam? Did you watch the city council meeting? No,
No.
probably not.
No.
You're too busy.
Yep.
You gotta put that on when you're working.
Right. Gotta.
Just listen to it. Put it in
Yeah,
your little.
just listen to it.
Yeah.
Should I read Chief Vale's comment?
Yeah. I mean, I had already read his letter on one of the podcasts that we did, but I don't
Oh.
see why we shouldn't read it again. We're talking about it right now. And then for those that may not have seen it, although I can't imagine anybody not, we can have context to what we're going to talk about,
Yeah.
which is Amen, Chief Vale.
Yeah. Chief Vale did basically an op-ed in the Times Argus article. Barry man settles multiple criminal cases with a plea agreement. Dated August 1st, 2025, it reads, the state agreed to dismiss a felony count of embezzlement, a felony count of forgery, a felony count of first-degree aggravated domestic assault with a deadly weapon, and a felony count of impeding a public officer, as well as a misdemeanor counts of criminal threatening, a second misdemeanor count of simple assault on a protected professional, and a misdemeanor count of resisting arrest. So just for folks that, as I said,
All of that was printed in the paper.
That was printed in the paper.
Right. Public
and
information.
was dismissed. All of that was dismissed. And that's the important thing. The state's attorney's office was like, eh. Anyway, so Chief Vale, that's what he writes. The state also amended a felony count of first-degree aggravated domestic assault to a misdemeanor attempt, simple assault by menace. The man's defense attorney said that his conversations with him, it's clear that he's taken full responsibility for these convictions and is committed to taking advantage of support outlined in the plea agreement. All these dismissals and amendments resulted in a sentence of 90 days to 3 years, all suspended except for 36 days to serve with credit and time served, and placed in probation for 4 years. Sounds awfully familiar to the guy that was murdered, and they they gave them concurrent. Anyway, whatever. Vermont statutes annotated Title 28-200. Purpose of probation reads, it is the policy of the state of that the purpose a purpose of probation is to rehabilitate offenders, reduce the risk that they will commit a subsequent offense, and protect the safety of the victim and the community. In simpler words, it's rehabilitative, not punitive. Recently, Barre City officers responded to a problematic residence as information was learned that this aforementioned violent individual, who had received such a sweet deal from the state, as he clearly took full accountability for his actions, had an active arrest warrant and was inside the residence. The warrant was issued in part due to 4 counts of violation of probation with a bail of $750. When the officer attempted to take him into custody, he fought the officers for several minutes. The officers appropriately followed the use of force continuum and utilized their training and tools at their disposal. Unfortunately, one of the officers subsequently suffered a broken hand and may require surgery. He will now be out of work for 4 to 6 weeks at minimum, having an adverse impact at an already short-staffed department. As a result of this incident, the second time he violently fought with officers within a few months. By the way, this rehabilitated gentleman is now being charged with impeding public officers, assault on officers, and resisting arrest, more felonies, which hopefully aren't reduced to misdemeanors and or dismissed. When offenders are not held accountable in the criminal justice system and or are released on conditions which they often violate without appropriate consequences, it lends to the theory that if the certainty of punishment is zero, then the associated fear is also zero. Insomuch, assaults on police officers or other members of the community inevitably become more prevalent. One of my officers recently describing the situation commented, "We are running out of police officers. Those who remain are overburdened, burnt out, injured, and have given far too much of themselves to a state, county, and community that has forgotten the meaning of justice and accountability. A state, county, and community that lets the minority rule over the majority." Sadly, I agree.
I do too.
The views and opinions expressed were Chief Vale's, not that of the city. However,
Mayor Tom Lozon and City Manager Nicholas Storelli Castro said they are our views. They backed Chief Vale, and as did Councilor Deering, Councilor Bergeron, Councilor
well, they all
Ruthier.
voted eventually.
They all voted eventually, but a very slimmed down version of
Right.
what was written. I mean, let's be honest. The mayor, Bergeron, Deering, and Ruthier would have accepted it in its entirety.
Yep.
And been willing to say we back the blue, and Spalding and Hillgartner and Guston. She was. She never really gave an argument. I think that she was kind of in the middle the whole time, and but she didn't really give this. I'm totally against it kind of thing, and give ultimatums. And I found Councilor Spalding's comments interesting, in that she kept turning around and looking at the mayor and others and saying, "Do you have the facts? Do you have all the facts?" I'm just curious if she does. I would like to know from the Barre City officers, how many of them involved did Councilor Spalding speak to? She said that she spoke to the perpetrator and that she had gone to the state's attorney's office and, did her little investigating or whatever. I attend the majority of court hearings. Anybody can do that. You can get a link to attend the hearings. You can go in person. You can attend them on WebEx. You can watch them. I mean, that's how the Times Argus prints what they print, and a lot of the news stations print what they print. But I'm just really curious, and especially because, and I do it too. When I'm super passionate about something, you say something with that snit in your voice, but keep the snit out of your voice when you're sitting up in the council seat and in the chambers and you're talking to your fellow councilors, especially if you're someone that's always trying to educate on how you're going to talk to each other. Then leave the snit at home. But it was interesting to me that comment was made. Well, do you have all the facts? Do you have all the facts? Do you? How many of the officers did you speak with? How many officers have you actually sat down with and heard their stories of the absolute shit that they have continued to endure for months and months and months, a couple of years now, and while their backs are up against a wall? I really am curious to know. And if she did, kudos to her. But my guess is she didn't. And so nobody had the full picture, except for maybe the mayor, because he not only spoke to the officers, he had spoken with the chief, he had spoken with the state's attorney's office, he had looked through the material that was used in court that day. And I think, they need, the long and the short of it is that they need our support. And
Yeah.
it should have been easy to give it to them 100%. They don't ask much from us.
Full disclosure, I have definitely had the SNIT. Is that what you? Mm-hmm. When at city council.
Me too. Right now, I have the SNIT, but it's just, and that's fine because
I
you
did
weren't.
it.
But you weren't always riding somebody's ass about how they were talking to each other.
Correct,
Either.
correct.
You know,
In
and that's where
defense
that
of-
comes from.
My excuse was that I was fed up with the individual, and that's when
Yeah.
I said bullshit.
Yeah. Well,
Bullshit.
Yeah.
He deserved it.
Exactly. And,
He
and
totally deserved it.
yeah, well, there's been a few times that I've done that stuff too. But no, I'm just saying, if you're somebody that is, it's the same scenario. It's, 1 minute you're talking about how you're going to speak to each other, and then you do the same thing because somehow it's right for you, but it's not right for anybody else. And then the question that you're asking, do you have all the facts? But do you? Or do you think your facts are more true than my facts because everything that we're dealing with now, right? If you don't agree with me, then you're a piece of garbage kind of thing. That's kind of where we're at now with politics in general, I think, which shouldn't even be the case, but it's where we're at with things. And I really felt like that was very obvious during that meeting. And it was really, I raised my hand twice, and which a lot of people saw that I did, but I put it back down because I wouldn't have been able to be respectful to the process, to the council that night. And I have this, right? That others don't have unless they choose to, because we invite anybody to come in here. If Councilor Spalding wanted to come sit on this couch and tell her side, please do. Let's hash it out right here. But I put my hand back down because I didn't want to do what she was doing.
Right. Politics have gotten a little aggressive as of late, for certain. Which
Not even a little, I think a lot.
Yeah, and we'll be talking about that shortly, about national aggressive politics and awful stuff. But we do have some local stuff, which I know that both of you are going to the Americans for Prosperity. You're going, right? Liam, you're going Thursday night?
Yes.
Americans for Prosperity.
Thursday evening at the Elks.
At the Elks, the wrap up. Did you, have you, you probably don't pay attention to resident chat, do you?
Only when it pops up and the comments are good. I'm a lurker.
You're a lurker? Did you see the one about the protest?
Oh,
I feel like I did.
Yeah.
I feel like I did. And the comments were flowing.
STFU?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, STFU? Yeah, that was one of them.
Yeah.
I loved it. Hey, Brian. So of course, Thursday night, there's the Americans for Prosperity, which super frustrating because they're getting such crap up here. And it's only because they're effective, right? And, the big thing that they're being called is, the dark money and the billionaires,
which totally cracks me up, the billionaires.
Well, they're talking about the Americans for Prosperity when they're saying that Americans for Prosperity is run by billionaires, which, in defense, the Koch brothers are billionaires,
Right.
but so isn't like the people that are donating through the Sierra Club and, all the
Right,
other
or
conservation
any other-
voters and all that.
Yeah.
It's all like, at the end of the day,
No
all
matter
the nonprofits, they all traffic in that, realm
course
of
they
not
do.
telling who's donating and
Yeah, absolutely.
and they all have their own thing, right? And
Yeah.
Americans for Prosperity, their thing is affordability and limited government. And you know what? Probably in Vermont, we could use a little bit more affordability.
Yes,
That was gross. Did
absolutely. Are you shooting
you see
spit?
that? I was spitting. I was so angry.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, of course we could.
Yeah, and they are trying to get into Vermont, and I saw one post, somebody said that they've spent $20 million, which is not true. I think I talked to, I think she told me at like 20,000.
Yeah. Oh, well,
It might have been. It might have been
It's
60.
going to
But
go.
it's going to
to
go.
the
It's going to get high.
extreme
I mean,
anyway.
it's going to get more.
People are going to over exaggerate that because they don't want
Yeah.
them here. But the idea of, okay, that might be even, the idea of that's what all Republicans are and that's all Republicans do is back them. How many of the people, let's just talk about the city GOP. The makeup of the city GOP, let's face it, there's maybe $750,000 in total income for the entire GOP, city GOP, right? I mean, we're not talking like people that are super rich, have tons of money to throw into their campaigns, none of that. We're just talking about people that are super passionate about trying to make things better and more affordable and being more helpful.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. True blue Vermonters. That's what I look at it as somebody like my grandfather or somebody that was working in the sheds for years ago back in the day and really just hardworking people. The working class people. That's what I look at it as.
Super frustrating. I feel bad. They're coming up here trying to do some good, help folks out, because we need a change in Vermont. And if you don't think we need a change, I'm surprised that you don't think that. It must.
And on both sides.
It's expensive.
That's the thing.
Like things are expensive
we need
up here.
change all the way around. I said it in a post the other day. Right, we're on a dead end. Whether you're red or blue, we're on a dead end right here, now. And we got to find some way to make it work, meet in the middle, find some common ground, even ground. I'm always going to go back to Dick Wabi saying you got to find that
80%.
That you agree on. There's something there that you can agree on, and I think that everybody could agree that people are struggling and they're having a really hard time.
Well,
right?
We'll talk about Charlie, right? I keep hinting that. But one of the things that, he addressed was the younger generation. And we got Liam here,
There you go.
who is a younger generation. And let me ask you, do you foresee buying a home in the next 15, 20 years?
Maybe in 15 or 20, but definitely not.
Not
in the
anytime
next
soon. You can't afford
4
it.
or 5, no.
Can't afford it. And
No.
and that's a product. And what's really interesting is we talk about that, and there's that, our kids better off now, more than the parents before them, and it's the first time, that although one could argue that, in your pockets, right, you have all the information
Right.
that you ever wanted, right, and the technology
But
is definitely
is that
there.
even good?
No, probably not.
I mean,
Probably
it's
not.
probably not.
No.
Because that's why kids aren't out riding their bicycles and climbing trees and being nice to each other.
Yeah. And Sarah says, agree, Raylene. I'm going Thursday, but only want to hear ideas and solutions. I've seen so much lately that's just pointing at the other side, and it's exhausting and not productive at all. And
It's
I'll be
depressing.
honest with you, I can be guilty of that as well. And I've
Me too.
tried to, when my comment has been, I can submit the bill and I can do my best to get it passed, and that's what I feel accountable to my residents, the constituents. Do what I can, and the problem is that there are times where I am going to say that they prevented it, and I'll give a perfect example, and Sarah will understand this, right? Because she was on the school board. I tried to pass legislation to allow us to extend the retirement option so that we could hire our superintendent underneath that retirement program. I submitted the bill. It got nowhere. And then I offered it as an amendment. And it failed. It was mainly party lines, but there was a few Republicans that didn't want it. And I only had one Democrat that voted for it, who was the original sponsor of the bill, 2 years ago.
Right.
And what's really funny is that about a month ago, I got a phone call from someone that's having a problem with their superintendent finding one. And she asked me, "Hey, I heard you had a bill." And I said, "Yeah, you voted against it."
Yeah.
And she was surprised. And I was like, but it was a party decision. And you know what? And I make that comment about party, but if the Republicans were in control, it would be the same thing, except for on the other side. Like right now, the Republicans are like, free willy, whatever. They can do whatever they want. But if it were, a slim majority on the Republican side, let me tell you, the clause would be out and it would be the same thing.
Yeah.
And everything, for every side, there's a coin on the other side. And people need to, get that. And she writes, "That's different, Michael. You came with an idea. I'm okay with that. I don't want to just hear all the problems that we have are because of XYZ. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, every problem that we have, Sarah, is because they don't completely agree with me.
Good Lord. And and there's always an XYZ. But I don't know. It's hard for me because really I'm in the middle of I've never been Democrat, Republican. I've always been kind of in the middle of everything. I vote for what I think is best, what's going to work, what's going to work best for me and my family and my situation. That's what I vote for, first and foremost. And then, yes, do I think of others, my neighbors, my family members? Yes, that too. But the whole party thing really isn't,
I know.
like banging on my door.
Right.
And so it's hard for me sometimes. I take more issue with some of the stuff that I see, especially lately, some of the shit that people will say.
We will go into
The
that
name
shortly.
calling and stuff, and the stuff. It's like, okay, and then yes, my claws come out then, and I am a real asshole sometimes. But I just feel like, look in the mirror, for God's sakes. Are you kidding me? Don't tell me how wonderful you are and then be the biggest asshole there ever was, but hide behind your I'm wonderful cloak, whatever you want to call it, cape, whatever, because it's just bullshit.
Yeah. And I know that
I'm tired of the bullshit.
There's been, we'll get into the social media stuff shortly. We're teasing the social media. Poor Liam here. He's just like, and I am definitely not political at all.
You're not at all.
He's not. We're going to work on him though.
Yeah.
We're going to get him like super knowledgeable and he's going to be able to talk about it. We're working on him, right?
Yep. We're working on it.
And maybe
We're
it's
working
best
on
that
it.
you're not, I
True.
mean, I wasn't, and I wasn't super political 5 years ago, and now I'm like major into all of it. And I told you a couple weeks ago, I'm like sad, but I spend a lot of my time. I don't like myself sometimes. I'm depressed a lot more. I'm angry a lot more.
Well, Facebook will do that to you. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, the people that, like, you didn't post about this story, and you didn't say this, or you didn't say that. Listen, I try to be as in the middle and do as much as I possibly can. I'm one person, and it's a lot more work than people think to keep everything, all of our content on the page. And I told Michael a little secret the other night, and he was floored. And so I'm going to tell everybody else it. I'm going to just straight up tell the truth. So every morning, I'm up, and by 4:30, I have my first coffee in me, and I'm on the computer by 5. The news is on the TV in the background. I hear some of it talking. I don't really pay attention. Never pay attention to TV all that much. If something is really critical, yes, I pay more attention. I can hear what's going on. I might stop and pay attention. But at 5 o'clock in the morning, I type in WCAX. Their website comes up. I pick I take the top 3 articles. I open them. I click I copy the first paragraph, paste it, share. That's what I do. I go to the next news station and I take the top 3 and I post them. I don't read them. They're not my opinion. I have no fucking clue what they even say by 6:30. It takes me the entire day to get through most of them. And sometimes you've brought up articles to me at night and say, because you see me post something and you'll say something about it, I was like, I have no clue. We got to open it up and look, because I haven't even had time to get to that today because I have not read it. That's literally how I do it. It has nothing to do with what I agree with, how I do. Seriously, that's what I do. So sometimes you might get Trump, and sometimes you might get Becca Balin. It's whatever's in the top 3. Sometimes you might get a pedophile, and sometimes you might get a drunk driver. Or maybe that you'll get that, after 6 years, they found the puppy that's been missing.
Oh.
I don't know.
So now everybody knows how Raylene's algorithm works.
Right.
Like, that's it. And so, people, like, literally, they beat the shit out of me about what I post. Yeah. And sometimes do I post things that interested me, sparked an opinion, upset me, something like that. Do I do that sometimes? Absolutely. But those things you'll find mid-afternoon. Definitely not 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm telling you that right now. Only when I've had time to actually breathe for a minute, because I'm trying to get as much out as possible. Let's face it, if you're getting your kids ready for school and you don't always have time. You can't be paying attention to all that. So if you have one spot that you can get the scoop, right? You can get all the stuff that you can in one spot without flicking channels, this, that, and the other thing. Great. But I can guarantee you that 9 times out of 10, I have no clue. I literally wouldn't even be able to tell you the title of most articles.
So Sarah says, if you don't post something I think you should, I just message you.
Yeah, it's true. And other people do too. Linda Kuchar, she is amazing. She always makes sure that, like, the stuff with the school this morning, the closings, the bus, the this, the that, police reports, press releases. She's amazing. She'll send me things, this should go up to Judy Copping, Jeff Bergeron. Lots of people do that. And I love that because I can't be all places at once. And I actually manage a lot. I have a lot going on during the day. And I do the best I can to get it all out there. But truly, 100%. Like, that's just how I do it. And can you imagine reading all that garbage before 6 a.m.? Can you imagine?
No.
Like, you'd have to be Superwoman.
Be awful. Patty.
And I know I'm ever lovely, but I'm not Superwoman.
Patty Lund Miscavige says that's called working smart. And Sarah makes a comment about Robert Redford, and that's very sad. He passed away today.
Oh.
89.
Yep.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yep. It's too bad. All right. So we did, I'll give a little tidbit on the school stuff. We did have a small conversation about redistricting. Mm-hmm. I'm a firm believer that we need to tell the redistricting task force what we think. And I'm actually going to be pushing to make a suggestion, and I'm hopeful that the school board will support it, because there, two things could happen. We're gonna get lumped in. There's no doubt if we won't have any control over it. I'm hopeful that in October we will have a more substantive conversation and actually make some decisions, because we need to. And I'll just, you heard it here first on Barry Beat, on 802 Scoop. If we merge with Montpelier, U32, all of them, yes, financially speaking, that is the best. We would be able to close down Spalding, and we would close down Montpelier, and we would close down Twinfield. But we would close down Spalding. Merge with them if we want to keep Spalding. So, and that's the kind of conversation that I want to have. We had a small bit of a conversation, and I posted that online for folks to do. And Sarah says, remember Act 46, folks? We will be lumped in with something.
Well, and so.
Exactly.
Right. And
exactly.
Here, this is what I have to say about that. I have 3 letters to say. And the disaster that's currently among us. UVM. That's all I get to say about
lumping in
all of your eggs in one basket. There isn't one doctor around here that is in their own practice anymore. And what that has done to us, that was supposedly was going to financially save us, right? And where are we at?
Well, I'm a firm believer of merger, as long as it's
but not
done
completely.
correctly.
Right. There was never any weigh-in. There was never any, this is what was going to, it was a forced thing. There was never any there was never any true, real conversation. I know, because I worked for a doctor's office at the time, and it was a lot of force. And so for you all to be able to weigh in, like you say, and at least be able to feel like you gave an opinion at what things should look like, I think that that's a good idea. I mean, at least, you got to at least try, right?
Yep. And I did watch some of the redistricting task force today, and they were talking about the public input, and a lot of it was advocacy. And I mean, you got to be advocate. You know what? If you don't ask, you don't get. Benjamin says, Ben Brown, he says, not before coffee, I wouldn't. You heard about SNAP-Ed? SNAP-Ed funding is going away. It's gonna be, let's see, the program focuses on nutrition and wellness for food stamp recipients. It'll end September 30th, which I'm not really familiar with that program. I know what SNAP is.
I know what SNAP is.
But I'm very, I tried to understand it, so I'm just going to say this. You should find somebody and talk about it. I'm just saying.
I should.
You should.
Because it's about the education of SNAP.
The education, it's an education portion of SNAP to show people how to make healthy food, I think.
And maybe how to shop and make their money go further and stuff.
Possibly.
I would not be okay with getting rid of a program like that. We should have
Vermonters
more of those.
received over $147 million in SNAP aid last year. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
But teaching people how to use that money might be a really wise idea.
Yeah. Housing market is starting to cool down. You know, we were just talking, Liam.
Hey, there you go. Might be sooner.
Right.
You never
know.
Get your house, huh? Yeah, the COVID era heat up is starting to cool down. Bidding wars, not so much anymore. I mean, you look just driving through, right? You can see that the houses are on the market longer. They're out there, which...
Yeah, I have 2 in my neighborhood that have been pretty much the majority of the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And rental vacancy has gone up to 3%, which it was under 1% for a while there. This is really good, but a little bit also concerning at the same time.
Because people are fleeing Vermont.
Yeah, definitely. People are leaving. Although, they're definitely, there's people that are leaving. I mean, could be more. Get a list.
I'm not falling for that bait.
Not falling for it.
Nope.
The average price of a house in Vermont was $353,000 in 2024, but it's still going up. It's now $370,000 for an average house.
Yeah, I just got that money in my pocket,
Yeah,
Right.
You got
Right.
that. You got
Get a
that.
vote for it, just like that, right?
Yeah, just
Thanks, Dwayne. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Dwayne says, "Nice podcast. We'll be watching more." That's awesome.
Thank you.
Who wants to talk about Ben and Jerry's?
You can talk about Ben and Jerry's if you want. What do you want to talk about?
Do you
I
like
like
Ben and
ice
Jerry's?
cream.
Do you like
Yeah.
ice cream?
yeah.
Not as much as Legendary, right?
Nope, because they sponsored
That's
the
right.
802.
Maple coffee, creamy.
Yes. Oh man, do you know they are only open until 8:00 now?
Yes, I
so
do know.
disappointed.
We've been sharing that information.
I know.
So on Monday nights, you can't go.
Can't. Sadly,
Can't
not
go.
on my trike anyway.
Right.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. A part of me laughs at this conversation with Ben and Jerry's. I feel bad. I know I'm gonna get all the
I
hate.
probably
like,
posted about it. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
well, no, I'm gonna get all the hate because of my take on this. Dear Ben, dear Jerry, suck it up, Buttercup. You gave your company up when you sold it, which a bunch of Vermonters were like, "Don't do it." Guess what? You sold it to Unilever. I don't know what to tell you.
Now they're crying about it.
They're crying. They want their company back. Well, it's not how it works once you sell something.
Yeah.
It's over.
I hope they have lots of money.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no, Unilever's like,
Not for sale.
no,
Yeah. The city sold
not
the building.
for sale.
And I want the building back.
Well, you can get that building back
Back
for
for
$275,000. Which I do have to go to the city council because I will be advocating for them to spend $275,000 to get that building back. But that's okay. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, no. Did you guys hear about that with Ben and Jerry? What's your thoughts? Come on, Liam. What do you think? What do you think about Ben and Jerry's wanting
Their
their
overpriced, crazy ice cream.
That is so good.
That's no better than any other ice
good.
cream I've
But
ever
not
had.
as good as Legendary
No.
ice cream.
No.
Or Hershey, for all I care. I mean,
So note to self, Raylene is not an ice cream
do they
snob.
they
Right.
make butter pecan ice cream?
They make all kinds of
Probably
ice cream.
not,
I
because
don't think they
they're
do.
too busy making things like Chunky Monkey or something.
Listen,
Like,
don't you dare, don't you dare hate on Chunky Monkey. Chunky Monkey is like super yummy.
The best.
So you need to just back the truck up, okay?
yeah. Well, hey, I'm just telling you.
Yeah, and I'm just telling you, back the truck up. Chunky Monkey is yummy.
Butter pecan. Like, you go in there and you look and
Man, I'm all fired up.
what kind of ice?
All
I
that
look
ice
at-
cream.
I look at all the kinds because my dad sends me. He likes half baked, and Cherry Garcia, of course. And there's one other one. I forget what it is. It's that he likes. And so he sends me down for Ben and Jerry's. It's like $6.99 for this thing. I can buy a whole box.
It's $6.99 because you gotta get it at.
No, it's that much a price dropper too.
Oh, is it?
I mean, yes, it's ridiculous. I can buy two 6-packs of Klondike bars, 2 packages for $6. I can get Heath Bar Crunch for one and a package of Reese ones.
Send
And I'm happy.
Unilever a letter about how terrible the ice cream is. They'll send you free samples.
Are they a Vermont-based company?
No. Well, I mean, they do. I think they have a pack. I mean, they obviously have the packing plant in Waterbury. But I think they have it at a couple of the locations. Somebody that might know, just drop it in the comments. but the company itself, I think Unilever is like Germany.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
But
it's like
again-
it's expensive.
Yeah. And Patty says Cumberland Farms black cherry chocolate chunk.
Yes, so I like
Cherry
it.
Garcia, do the test.
Yes, it does. It does. Cumberland Farms has some really good flavors of
But they don't have
their
Chunky
brand
Monkey.
ice cream. They have some really good flavors. They have one that's called something praline that's to die for.
But they don't have Chunky Monkey.
And I hear that legendary
I'm a
joint
chunky.
in
And-
Williamstown has good ice cream too.
They
They
do.
do.
They do.
Amazing.
Good job.
Yeah,
Bring it back.
the
Bring
coffee,
it back. Good.
the maple
you
coffee.
see Liam reeling back there.
Yep.
Good job. So let's give a little bit of love for some sponsors. We want to talk about Vermont Quick Lube.
Yes. So tomorrow is Wednesday. That means it's Ladies' Day at Vermont Quick Lube and Car Wash in South Barrie.
Ladies' Day.
So the ladies can go. So for the car service, the oil change, which by the way I just went and did, and they check your fluids, they check all your lights, they do kind of like a safety check for you as well, and you get your oil change, and then before you go, they're gonna say thank you for all you do and being as amazing as you are. They're going to give you a flower and a little ticket for a car wash. And that car wash you can use immediately, or you can tuck it right in your wallet or in the center of your car console and use it whenever, because it's got a code on it. And so maybe your car's not dirty right now and you want to wait until winter. Pack them all up. Save them all up over the summer. And so that you can get your car wash. But yeah, so that's tomorrow on Ladies' Day. Vermont Quick Lube Car Wash, South Barrie. They're open every Saturday too, because they know that the week is sometimes a lot for a lot of people. And so Saturday mornings, they're there bright and early, 8 o'clock, and they close at 1. Just in case you don't get there.
Brian Massey says Haagen-Dazs. I'm gonna go.
They make a killer butter pecan. Sorry. They really do. If we're talking about buying in a grocery store, if we're talking about local, then I'm going to go Legendary. But if we're talking about when Legendary is closed during the winter months, then I've got to agree with Brian.
All right, there you go.
You gotta have your second.
So you're a data guy, right?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the U.S. Justice Department requesting voter data from the state of Vermont?
What do they want to do with it?
They're trying to make sure that we are compliant with Help America Vote Act and the National Voter Registration Act. Basically, to make sure that we have clean voter rolls and to make sure that there's, clean voter rolls, right? So people aren't registered to vote in communities that they don't live, and there's no duplicates.
And their dogs aren't registered.
And their dogs aren't registered. That doesn't happen in Vermont.
Oh. Because they'd have to sign, right?
Yeah, right.
Dog can't sign.
No, and nobody forges anything ever.
So, and Sarah Copeland Hansis is refusing to give the information, which I don't know if you can do that. But regardless of
Well,
that,
we'll see, right?
yeah, we'll spend some more money going to court.
We'll
and
find out
probably
soon
lose
enough.
that one. They have until the 22nd to comply. But I will say that I think our election system is great. I truly believe that our election is set. I do think our voter rolls are like awful. And I say that because when I send letters, and don't anybody get all like, let me tell you something. I send letters to the voter registration rolls, and believe me, as they're all coming back, return to sender, nobody living there
Right.
by that name. Don't even go down that road. Okay?
Yep.
I have
It's
experience.
super
and I know.
disappointing too.
It is.
when you do that. It's a lot of money to
It's a
spend
huge amount of
to
money.
do that.
It's
and
huge.
and I don't know where that is. Is it because people at P.O. boxes, but their addresses are their physical, but they can't get mail there because they are not allowed to have a receptacle. I mean, there could be all different kinds of reasons why those come back. But the amount that you get back with no one lives there is insane. Blew my mind the first year that I helped with all of you with all of that. It was like, holy shit, remember all those cards that I did? Wow. Incredible.
Yeah, and Sarah says, how does this reconcile with the leave it up to the states mentality? I'm all for validating voter rolls, but shouldn't we just be advocating for our own government to do that? Yeah, no, I'm not. For the record, I mean, I think that the Justice Department has the right to ask for the information, and I think our voting system in the state of Vermont is good. I just think that our voter rolls, the way that we have our laws in the state of Vermont, or registration or voter rolls, that really shouldn't be there, and you know, that's just my opinion based on the fact that you know what, Sarah, I'll have to send you a picture of the stuff that I get back.
Yeah.
It just goes to show that, you know, we need to be a little more
Tighten it up
efficient
a little bit.
with our voter registration rolls. Especially, like, I believe it should be if you don't vote for a couple, you get bumped off. And the only reason why, and hear me out before people start freaking out at me, we have same day voter registration. So if you're bumped off the voter rolls, it doesn't matter, right? Because you can go in, you
re-register
get
right there at the
re-registered.
polls.
Yeah. So I mean, if you don't vote for 4 years,
And if you call to get an absentee, if you're not on the roll, they're going to tell you.
Yeah.
They're going to know.
Yeah.
The town, city clerk, whatever, she's
although,
going to know.
that's a good point. Like I wouldn't want to deny somebody access to an absentee ballot. So okay, well now I'm thinking that through. I got to think that through a little bit more.
Because are they, what if they're not a registered voter?
Yeah.
Does she know that, or does she only get the requests and send them out?
Right.
So,
Yeah. Oh well, no. I mean, Cheryl will look at the registered voter list. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people that don't exist at the location.
Yeah.
And you know what? That might be a Barre specific thing, Barre City specific thing, because we
have a lot of apartments.
We have a lot of apartments and a very large transient. So my experience may not be the experience of Barre Town.
Right.
And should we be passing legislation? I'm thinking this through. We're not, by the way, we're not passing legislation on this. But should I be like making that generalized comment when my only experience is in Barre City?
Right. Maybe not. Maybe you
not.
just need to explore it a little more.
I'm not going to. Because I'm not going to change the rules. And, I have no interest in changing the rules. I think that, it sucks for mailing stuff, but,
Right.
it's not like I don't think it's hurting anybody. Somebody's going to get really angry with me about this, but, it's not. We have good elections in Barre City. I don't know about.
So what's
everywhere else.
different about today than was yesterday? Somebody's angry with you every day lately.
That's true.
Yeah.
I do get a lot of.
So
anger.
you're saying if somebody, as it sits now, you're saying if somebody doesn't vote for 10 years, they're going to remain on that list?
I think it's two general elections.
I think two
Two general elections, and if you don't vote for two general
And then
elections, you're out. And then you get a challenge letter, and then you're challenged
Right.
on the voter registration, which is kind of awkward. Like, oh, I'm sorry, Miss Smith, you're challenged.
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't particularly like telling that to people at the polling booth.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the corgi?
The corgi race in Lithuania.
Lithuania?
You guys didn't hear about this?
No.
This was
Tell
the
us.
front page of the corgi section.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not up on my corgi news.
I just saw this. It was I put the link in our thing. According to the
That's a valid
AP,
point, Brian.
they have a corgi race, and I'm shocked. Thousands of corgis showed up, and if you go look at the link, they dress them up, and It's the funniest thing.
Oh my, thousands of corgis?
Thousands of corgis. And they had to pick one corgi that
Please
won.
tell me there's oh my goodness,
There's
there's
pictures.
a corgi? Oh, yeah, no, I got to show this to folks. This is pretty phenomenal.
Corny corgis.
The event ended
here
on Sunday.
802
Batman
Scoop.
corgi.
Good Lord.
The corny
Look
corgis.
at the little corgis.
People are going to misinterpret that.
What have you roped me into?
I have no idea. This is Liam.
Oh,
This is
This
Liam.
is your
This is all Liam.
this is your smile for the day.
Well, we'll let you, before we go into, like, because I feel like I got to talk about the Charlie Kirk
well,
thing.
and
But
first,
before we do that.
before we do that, let's talk about my guest earlier today.
Oh, yes.
So the Candy Smith and Sheila McGrath were in here talking with me. The third annual Veterans Place Calcutta is right around the corner on the 18th of October, and it happens right over at Gusto's. It's an amazing time. The doors open at 5, 6 p.m. sharp, and they keep a tight line. Is the dinner. It's a steak dinner. It is $125 for the tickets, but it includes 1 ball and 2 steak dinners, and Gusto's puts on one hell of a meal for this. So, and then 7 p.m. sharp is the Calcutta. Yes, you can still be eating. They're just calling numbers. It's a ton of fun. It's not your typical boring Calcutta. They make it like really fun. They do some music things and whatnot with it. It's a great time. The grand prize is $3,000. Second prize is $500, and third prize is $250. There's 50-50 raffle and a silent auction. They are still in need of silent auction items, and it can be anything. If you want to re-gift something that you have that's brand new that you got for Christmas 2 years ago, but you've never used it, they'll take it. And all of the money, 100% of the proceeds go to the Veterans Place in Northfield, which is huge. This is for homeless veterans, 2 words that should never be together. And so, yeah, tickets on sale now. You can buy them by contacting Candy at 802-505-0555 or Sheila at 802-793-6956. So you can buy those tickets. Yeah, it's something that I'm very honored to be a part of each year, promote, and I mean, everything that they do, as far as I'm concerned, is amazing, and they need our support. And today when they were here, they talked about a recent suicide that happened there at the Veterans Place, and the lack of funding for somebody on site for the mental health counseling and things that they might need there. And you know how devastating that is to the other 17 men that live here and all across. And 22 veterans a day die by suicide. So, and it's,
Suicide.
It's Suicide Awareness
Yeah.
Month. And so, they really need the support, and they should have this support before we do so many other things. They have a meal train so that you can help with meals on the weekend. They have a cook there that cooks and prepares all the meals Monday through Friday. They're not there on the weekends. The guys kind of fend for themselves. And if you bring it, they'll cook it. And they try to keep them being a little bit healthy. But I did, one time last year, I did beans and franks and cornbread. And you would have thought that I did this crazy meal. They just love just that, I don't know, because you're trying to think of something you can feed 18 people, right? But I've done shepherd's pie, lasagna, whatever. They just love it. And you bring a little dessert for them, whatever. Team up with somebody, maybe a bunch of you could, a few friends could kick in and make one big meal together. And you can bring the meals over anytime. They have plenty of storage. It doesn't have to be on Saturday or Sunday that the meal gets delivered. But you can sign up right on the Veterans Place Facebook page or website. You can find the link to sign up for the meal train. So
Right.
it's it's cool. I've done it they absolutely love to see you when you get there. It's just a great group of guys over there. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you put in about the government shutdown? Is that you?
Yep.
Take it.
Will it stay funded? That's the
I don't
question.
know. Will
course
it stay
it will.
funded?
Of course.
And that was, when did I put that in there? But I just saw something about it again today that they were looking to vote on and it seems like they always say this, clean CR.
Continuing resolution.
Right. And they are looking to vote on it. I can't remember if it was today or tomorrow. And this would go until mid-November, so November 16th. I didn't put the link in there, but
I'll say this. I don't know if they want to shut it down. And I'm talking about like the Dems. I don't know if they want to shut it down, but if they shut it down, because it's needed. They need to.
they need the
support it.
votes, right?
Right, because given the state of the federal government, if they shut down the federal government, and if there's like a severe possibility that the things that are shut down are not. Anyway, people might realize like, oh, we didn't need you,
Right.
and that could be a huge problem. That could be a huge problem for folks.
So something
They
to
might.
keep an eye on.
Yeah, most definitely.
Because what was it last year? They went through, and originally, I don't know if you remember, they said they were going to vote for it, or they said they weren't going to vote for it, and
then they did.
Then they did, and then
Yeah.
we're all like, oh, well.
I think the reason why is because every single president does this, and they play the game. It's, I mean, when the government shut down, I think it was under Obama, they shut down the state parks. Why? There was no reason to shut down the state parks because nobody was in the state parks to maintain them before. So you shut it down just to, it's like if City Hall shut down and they shut down City Hall Park. It's like, why would you do that? And so the game that the politicians play on that level is just, it's beyond my.
We're losing
my-
people, so we
Yeah,
should really
okay.
get to the wrap up
Okay.
since we're at
Yeah,
quarter after 8.
Yeah, this is true. Sorry, Liam. let's hear your coffee lecture, and then we'll go into the other.
Bad
for it.
coffee.
Huh?
I said bad coffee.
Okay.
I'm going to read it because I wrote it last night. No, yesterday. Yeah. No, last night. Night before last. Sunday night I wrote it. Bad coffee. It's the biggest scam of daily life. You smell it and think, oh, whoa, this will wake me up. Then you take a sip and it's just bean-flavored disappointment. Half the time it tastes like burnt dirt. The other half it tastes like somehow both watery and bitter at the same time. How did they do that? And gas station coffee, that's not coffee. That's punishment in a cup. It's brewed at 3 a.m., sits there for 12 hours, and then dares you to drink it at the temperature of molten lava. Congratulations, you just burned your tongue and your will to live. Honestly, I'd rather have no coffee than bad coffee. No coffee just makes me tired. Bad coffee just makes me tired and mad. Bad coffee.
Well,
There you
do you
go.
have any comments about that as you just sipped from your coffee?
Yeah, like I live on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've probably, if I haven't counted in a long time because I try not to because then I have to tell my doctor the truth. But at one time when they were making me keep a log, I would fill that cup anywhere between 14 and 16 times a day.
That's a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
That's a lot of coffee.
Yeah, but I'm not that bad about it anymore. Now I probably only feel it like 8 to 10 now. Probably closer to 8 times a day. Yep, which is pretty good. Today I might be a little over because I've been up since 10 after 2 this morning. I couldn't sleep. And by like 3:30 I'm like, screw it, I might as well just get up. And so then I make a cup of coffee. But so I've been drinking it a little longer. So today I might be closer to 10, but I am trying to be better about it because I know it's not good for me. It's definitely not good for my gut. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot of coffee.
Yeah, and it
coffee.
dehydrates you terrible.
Yeah.
And coming into winter, you need to not be so dehydrated and dry and yucky and whatever. So, yeah. I'm trying to be better. I hate water. It gives me terrible heartburn, and people laugh at me when I say that, but it's true. Unless it's room temperature. If it's room temperature, I can tolerate it, but I hate water.
All right. I like water.
I like Bud Light.
You know who else liked water? Yeah, I bet you like Bud Light. All right. So it's been burning on me for the last 3 days. So, or not the last 3 days, since the 11th. Charlie Kirk, right? So I don't know. I'm online all the time. I know Raylene's online. Are you online all the time?
I'm on the line all the time.
You're on the line all the time, and
Yep.
you're younger generation. So I know that it's had a huge impact on the younger generation. It seems like it's impacted them more than the older generation because, I mean, he was such an online sensation. And I think, and I know that there's a lot of comments about the reactions from people, and I can only speak for myself, right? You know, I don't know Charlie. I didn't know him. I know the movement, the impact that he's had, and the violent way that his life was ended. And then the reaction. And I'm not referring to the reaction from the right. I'm referring the reaction from the left where people celebrated his death. And anytime you celebrate the death of somebody, and I think of what would happen if Ruth Bader Ginsburg had been assassinated in that way. And people were going online and saying, you know, she's gone, yay, wonderful. You can hope and be glad that, you know, you can't even be glad in that circumstance when it's a death. You know, for Ruth Bader Ginsburg, for example, I wanted her to retire, right? I didn't want her on the Supreme Court, but not to die. And and Sarah says disgusted by the reactions on both sides. And there's anger. There's definitely anger on the Republican side that shouldn't be the case, right? Like, and I don't think that Charlie Kirk would be okay with anger. The man was a Christian, and I think of that myself. I'm a Christian. I'm a Republican. I don't have children. And I don't have a wife. I made choices, you know. It's the reaction. People felt very connected to him. And I think that it's compounded when you see the comments that are made online. And then you go into the defensive stance. And I think that, you know, the increased amount of attention from the Republicans is probably somewhat connected to that, you know, we have to defend our own. And it's sad. And I know that for myself, Raylene, you run your mouth all the time, right? You know, and that kind
Absolutely.
of that kind of does make you feel insecure in things when you see
So
this.
it does. It does make, and it scared my dad. He was, my dad's first impression, and it was that he was going to get me a bulletproof vest. Seriously, that he was that upset about it. He didn't want me to do the podcast anymore. He didn't want me to have a serious discussion about that. For me, so the whole religious thing aside, because that's not me. It's not. You and I have discussed it before. I have no faith, like that I have followed my entire life. I didn't grow up in a home of faith. I grew up with a single mom who worked a couple of jobs. Sundays were for cooking and cleaning and prepping for the week ahead, and going to my grandmother's for dinner. And my whole family went. We all her kids and all the cousins, and we're all super tight still to this day. That's just like in Sundays, you have family dinner. That's why I won't do things. You ask me to do things on Sundays. I don't do things on Sundays. It has nothing to do with church. It has everything to do with my family. And for me, as somebody who has, I've lost my mom, I've lost my baby brother, the realities of how short life can be are super gut-wrenching for me most of the time. And so my connection to him had nothing to do with religion. I loved what I liked about him, and I did listen to him quite often. I didn't listen to him a lot, but what I liked is that both of my boys, who also were not brought up in a religious home because I was not, followed him. They knew who he was. They knew all about him, and they were hurt. They were hurt because it was somebody that they still felt like they could listen to. They felt, just as a couple of teachers that they've had, everybody has a favorite teacher, somebody you remember. And, Kyle would say, well, she was just, he was the equivalent of Miss Martin, his third grade teacher that he thought was, it was just somebody that there was some sort of connection with them for him. But the heinous way in which he died was the problem. And then, then the commentary. And then, truthfully, my clause didn't come out until you posted about Turning Point coming to the school board. First of all, it's amazing. And I would feel that way if, it's amazing when Teen Challenge comes. It's amazing when Turning Point comes. If there was a group of Democrats, and I don't know what they would call their little, maybe they do have that they would come. The fact that our kids are willing to invest their time and themselves into something, and maybe that's not even what they'll agree with or believe in 2 years from now, but the fact that they are willing to really empower themselves with any sort of knowledge is amazing, and we should celebrate that. Whether we agree with what they are celebrating or not, we should be like, okay.
Or just shut up.
Yeah, or just shut up.
Just shut up. I mean, I think shutting up is okay.
Right, and we've had to shut up about an awful lot of things.
Correct.
For a long time that have been, and that's the thing, that are constantly crammed down our throat. And if we say one little thing off step or something that somebody, holy shit, we are Nazis, we're homophobes, we're murderers, we're, the outrage and the, you horrible, sick, disgusting person. Let me tell you something. I'm the mother of a drug addict. I've been dealing with this for over 16 years. And there's less stigma in that than there is in this political shit and garbage. Yeah. Like, it's easier for me to say that now. There was a time where I didn't want anybody to know. I was scared. I hid about it. We didn't talk about it or whatever. I feel like, oh my God, just because I say that I don't agree with something doesn't mean that I hate somebody or I would hurt them. I would definitely never hurt somebody. And to see somebody come out and attack you and say, oh my God, I'm appalled you think that he was a great man. You espouse the same hate, racism, terrorism, support for political violence that he expressed. No, you don't. You don't have a mean bone in your body. If I stepped on a spider over there 10 minutes from now, you'd be like, oh, and I know that you would. And so for people to like say that stuff about you, my claws come out really bad. Now, if they said something like that about me, because I'm much more vocal and vulgar sometimes about how I feel about a situation or a person, that would be different. But for somebody to come out and say that to you blew my freaking mind. It blew my mind. And I've watched it happen time and time again over the last year. Not too long ago, somebody, because of a way you voted about something, somebody called you a murderer, and that you agree with murdering children. Come on, get a grip, get a hold of yourself, because that's not even close to true of who you are and what you represent. That's bullshit. The frustrating part is those are the people that are constantly saying, we love everybody. We got to help them. If we put a roof over their head, if we feed them, if we give them shelter, this world will be such a better place. No, it won't be, because we're still going to be dealing with, you espouse the same hate, racism, terrorizing support for political violence. Do not even think what the kids brought about the importance of voting is anything akin to someone who thought the brown and black kids in the LGBT, going on and on and on about how, no.
We need to do better. And
all of us do.
All of us need to do better. And I think we need to have more conversations. We have to be able to talk to one another.
And you can't if the conversations start like that.
I'll be honest with you.
I swear,
I saw that.
I freak out about people like that. I freak out but more often, I really believe this. More than 90% of the time, I've been provoked by some sort of bullshit like that. It takes a lot to get me to not be a nice person. And that's what I said I hate about myself in the last couple of years, because I feel like I'm not a nice person anymore. I feel like I become this real hard asshole that I've never been before, because I'm constantly trying to defend my own point of view, which I should be able to have that without fearing for my life, or that somebody's going to be calling me some disgusting name because I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. I could care less if we even talked about that I don't agree with you. I'd rather that we didn't. I don't agree with you. You don't agree with me. Let's move on. You never have to talk to me a day in your life if you don't want to, but don't attack me. And then tell me that you're some wonderful person that wants to love everybody and that we should be inclusive and we should be doing the fuck you. That's the biggest bullshit story you've ever told. Stop lying to yourself, because you are not being that way. And that's where I end up getting myself into trouble, because it makes me so angry.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I mean, I just, it's too bad.
Did you like Joe Biden?
So,
did you like a lot of his administration? Did you agree with any of his policies or anything?
Not.
Of course not. But were you
I wanted to get him unelected.
Unelected, right, but not gone.
No. Not at all. And not even now.
And not
it's just, to hear that he has I think it was stage 4 prostate cancer. Mm-hmm. Absolutely awful.
Yeah, it is awful.
There's impacts to death. And the job that I do, I get to see it every single day. Mm-hmm. And it's, yeah.
And the job I
point-
do, I see it every day, which unfortunately, I mean, we all know that I'm like totally invested in the addiction recovery world. Like I invest a lot of my time, heart, love into all of that. We just lost someone that was very important to me after, you know, he'd been almost 11 months sober. And I see it happen all the time. People losing their lives left and right, and it makes me angry because I think, you know, what are we really thinking about? What are we thinking about? What are we doing that we're having this happen? What are we doing that we just read 138 names on August 31st? And we're walking around City Hall Park with the pictures of a bunch of kids that have passed of an overdose. You know, what are we doing? We're fighting with each other and calling each other names and not getting anywhere. We're not making any progress on anything, and we're definitely not fixing anything because none of us are willing to get in the middle and figure it out. So whether you're a Christian or you're not, you're just somebody like me who wants to, you know, my mom taught me you believe in yourself and you believe in your family, and that's how I was raised. And you are strong faith. You're Michael Deering, strong faith. I love you both to death. You talk to me about it. You talk to me about your faith. You have prayed for me. You have offered that up to me. I'm going to accept that. That's your friendship to me. It's not because you are crapping on the way I believe or the way I feel, no more than I would ever do that to you. And we have to find a middle ground here somewhere, because we're like literally
We're tearing ourselves apart.
We are.
And it's
We are.
coming.
And the divisiveness here in like our community is frightening.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we talked about the protest, right? Protesting an event that has no impact on individuals that are protesting it. And all that does is it like escalates things.
Right.
And, you know, we're talking,
Right. And
you know,
really,
huge amount of people
is it-
coming to Barre
what-
City for
what-
protesting an
and what
event.
are they really going to get out of it? Is there really any gain there for them other than just to be an asshole? Because I don't see any probably big bucks flowing into the city and helping these people out by whoever the group is that organized this, or, you know, I don't see them running in to save the day. We only have ourselves, right? And so are we going to keep kicking the crap out of each other, or are we going to do what Dick Wabi says and find that percent, right? And
80%.
run with it.
And I got to do that myself.
We all do.
And I need people to like call me on it when I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So when folks are, you know, curious of why it has an impact because of the reaction of people, because of, you know, the Christianity, a lot of people that are in that realm, similar to the way that
And that's
Catholics
what hurt me.
felt 1963 when John F. Kennedy was shot.
Yeah.
Live television, right?
Yeah.
And people felt like super.
And this, I mean, a lot of people have seen the video. It happened.
Lot.
And
I saw
I
a
did
part
not.
of it.
I chose not to. I can't. I don't want to. And that was my hurt. I cried. This broke my heart. I cried. I cried because of how much it hurt you, how much it hurt my kids, how much it hurt, you know, Charlie and Rosemary, people that I deeply love and care about. I cried for them. I cried for this man's family.
My nieces were devastated.
And so was my son. Like he went to the vigil in Williston. You know, he's very much a part of all of that, and that's what broke my heart. That's, you know, I cried. Yes, I cried for the loss of him because of the hurt that it caused others, and that he was a son, a father, you know, a brother, a husband, all of those things that I mourn in an addict that loses their life, right?
Right.
And they're both lost to very disgusting things.
Yeah.
And for me, it's the same thing.
Moral of the story is we can do better.
We can
do
way
better as a society. We can do better individually.
And me too.
I can do better. And yeah, I'll try. My comments that I made were, I tried to make sure that they were.
I tried to too. I did make one comment. I responded to that. Somebody saying those things to you, and I was way nicer than I normally am. I took a breath. It took a little bit and thought about it, and I just said, "Do you have a mirror in your home? You might want to look in it because it's there. You find the hate in its purest form, right? That's where we all can see it.
Yeah.
When we're looking at ourselves every day.
When we look at ourselves, yep.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Liam.
You're good.
You got something?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
No, he
All
wants
right.
to get the hell out of here.
Probably.
Just listening.
We are running late. Sarah writes, what an absolutely awful event that took place and the people witnessed. But absolutely horrible by the way the event has been exploited to put everyone against each other. And Brian says, when you can't have civil conversations and free speech debates in this country and respect each other's perspective, it's a problem. There's just no respect anymore from both sides of the fence.
Yeah.
And that's true. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, Raylene and Liam, for coming in.
Thanks for hanging in,
And
everybody.
thank you everybody for hanging in. Yeah, we're 1 hour and 38 minutes.
Yeah.
We're way over.
Join the ladies tomorrow for quarters with Lori Shepard at 5:30 Wednesday nights, and then Jeff and I will see you for Table Talk at noon on Thursday.
All right. Everybody have a great evening.
Stay safe.